And thanks for participating this evening. There was definitely a lot of stuff to read in the agenda. I appreciate everyone taking the time. As about 3 minutes ago, I've been informed that I will chair once again. Our chair has sent his regrets. He has had something unexpectedly come up and cannot attend, so we wish him the best. He's going through some things with some family, so let's hope for the best for everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order with everyone's permission. Jamie?
Excellent. Mr. Chair, the first item up is a motion for consideration to hold this meeting digitally without members of the public in the boardroom. So
Motion.
A mover and a seconder for that.
Thank you, Mr. Robb, Mr. Adamson. All in favor? Those opposed? It passes. Thanks very much. Second, approval of addenda, and late items. Motion of consideration that the addenda, and late items for the Recreation, Culture, and Airpark Services Commission open meeting of May 18th be approved, and that all delegations, reports, correspondence, and other information set to the agenda be received for information. Has everyone had an opportunity to read that? Thank you. Someone to move us forward?
Move, Adamson.
Mr. Adamson, second.
I'll second.
Thanks very much, Ms. Fisher. All in favor? Those opposed? That moves forward as well. Item number 3, minutes matters arising. Draft Recreation, Culture, and Airpark Services Commission meeting minutes from March 16th. Motion for consideration that the minutes of the Recreation, Culture, and Airpark Services Commission open meeting held March 16th be adopted.
Move, Adamson.
Second. Ms. Harrison-Hines, thanks very much. All in favor? Those opposed? Seeing none, moves forward. Thank you very much. Oh, if only the whole thing could go this smoothly. Item 4.1, operations and projects update. Am I on the right page? Yes. Verbal update by Christina, Manager of Parks and Recreation. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I can't believe it's already middle of May. It's really quite incredible to think that over a year ago we were grappling with COVID-19 and reopening up and what it was going to look like. And here we are, we're still doing the same thing. However, I think fortunately or unfortunately, it's become the new norm, certainly at the center. Our patrons are definitely very used to the processes that we have in place in terms of pre-registration, things that need to be considered in and out of the facility, etc. We still have an additional staff member on for the COVID protocols for greeting and registrations and all those types of things, and give that added customer service. Looking forward, there's a couple of key things we're trying to facilitate at the moment. Of course, we were hoping for a much grander Canada Day because last year we weren't able to do one. However, the latest information is there still will not be events at that particular point in time. And so we're working on finalizing plans for a Canada Day virtually to try to reach out to the community as much as we can in a variety of different ways. So as soon as we have sort of that completed plan, we'll certainly be sharing that with you as well. Some new things to add into it, some challenges and things like that we're looking to facilitate this year. So hopefully there will be some cause for celebration, even from a remote distance. We're doing lots of staff recruitment. There's been a lot of staff turnover and changes, moving on to other aspects in their life, moving away, different jobs, etc. There's 6 different areas right now we're in the middle of recruiting for, including fitness, recreation programmer, lifeguards for the Hope and area pool, lifeguards for AC pool up in Boston Bar, our after-school childcare program, as well as our customer service reps at the front desk. So lots of transitioning happening in those areas, and undergoing some recruitment there to get new people on board so we can continue to move forward with planning for virtually, but also in theory, a little bit more normal of a September, depending on how things go. So we're hoping that in September there can be maybe a little bit more normal kind of back in the facility, hopefully earlier, but we'll see where that gets us. There is still, though, a swim club event that's coming up in early June. Of course, it will be very vastly different from what it's been in years past, because other clubs cannot come in, and they have to hold all of their items separately from what it would normally be. However, it's within the framework of what their club does on a regular basis in the facility, and still a different way of having competition and some meaningful involvement for the community members. So we're looking forward to that. I don't think the plans are 100% finalized either there, but working with them to sort that out. The AC pool, we're busy getting that ready for a full summer of operations, which is exciting. Like I've mentioned, staff recruitment is happening for up there. And as soon as we know how many staff we have, we'll be able to start to share the news of what's going to be happening, when it's open, for how long, etc. The good news is the COVID protocols we had in place last year haven't vastly changed to this year. So we don't have to redevelop that portion of it, and it will be a great service to be able to offer the community. So with doing that, of course, it's getting the pool up and operational, doing some work on the chemical feed system. There's some capital projects that were identified in that area, which included getting a new mower, rebuilding some stairs, which were completely falling apart, and most of that stuff has been completed. So just get pretty water in and people able to use the pool. That's the goal. And of course, the Airpark is the same thing, just getting everything's green and growing and people starting to move around more and more. And so operationally, just trying to get all of those things continuing along. In terms of our projects on the capital side, we're currently under procurement for 2 major projects, which were approved in the 2021 budget. The first of them being dealing with the arena high bay lighting. So it's a retrofit for that, which will save us a ton of energy and provide better lighting in that facility, which will be exciting. So we're hoping to see some improvements on that front, as well as replacing some of the aging fitness equipment to make sure that we offer that great service with equipment that's functioning well. So those are the 2 things. And then of course, we're getting ready for the summer shutdown. And so why do we need a shutdown if we've been so quiet? It is an annual thing. And because we've been so quiet, we probably may have considered scaling it back and or not doing it at all to be able to maximize the opportunity for public to be in there. And so we're still planning for what it looks like. One of the big projects that will be undertaken at this time is the assessment of the steel columns in the pool. And the District of Hope is leading that project, and we're working with them closely to understand what the needs are to minimize the impact to the public at that particular time. So planning for these things, of course, is a sauna rebuild. So we can't use a sauna right now because of the health protocols. However, rebuilding saunas planned for lots of things as well. So we're planning for some of those things, and just trying to keep the facility moving along so we're prepared as quickly as we can be for when we get the green light to go ahead. So that's all I have today, Mr. Chair, for an update. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you very much. Questions, anyone? Be no questions. Thank you very much. Once again, let's move on to items 5, items, information, and correspondence, an email from Hope Secondary School with respect to the late John Koopman donation. Do I have that to read or no?
That is a for information item. Mr.
Okay.
Chair. So if anybody wishes to discuss it, otherwise it's just there. Those two items are there for.
Thank you. I'm hoping that everyone had an opportunity to read that. Any questions, comments? Having none, let's move on to 5.2 letter.
Sorry,
Sorry,
Mr. Chair.
I apologize.
Yeah.
Charlene, thank you. Let's start. I'll start with Charlene Dennis. Thank you.
I don't recall seeing that, but I've been a little preoccupied. My father died last week, so I haven't
Very
been.
sorry to hear.
Thank you. I haven't been absorbing everything. So can somebody give me the gist of that letter?
Can you bring that up, Jamie, please? There it is.
No.
Okay. I don't recall what our donation was supposed to be. If you could refresh my memory.
Couple $100.
Okay, thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I want to stop that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie. Now the 5.2 letter regarding the funding received from the Minister of Canadian Heritage for 2021 Hope Canada Day celebration. Would you like to see that one as well, Ms. Hines?
No, not
You're okay with
necessary.
that?
I was
Okay.
more curious about the thing for John Koopman. Thank you.
I read this a few days ago, but was this the one with the $15,000 grant? Correct. Questions? Having no questions. Item number
Dennis has a
6. Oh,
question.
I apologize,
Sorry,
Mr. Adamson.
It takes me a while to get to unmute. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we're getting 15,000 from the government, and we budgeted what, 10,000?
I believe that's correct. Yes.
So is that going to be? I mean, how much money do we have in this budget? Is what I'm kind of asking, because we didn't really do too much last year, and this year I just wondered how much is there, and is it going to be enough, or what are they planning, and just like that. Questions about that.
Okay, that's a good question, Dennis. So with last year and the cutbacks, what were we allowed to keep the money and put it into an area? Thank you, Christina.
Mr.
Please.
Chair, if I may, through the chair to Director Adamson. So every year we do apply for grant funding through a variety of sources, is my understanding. Heritage Canada is one of the main areas. Certainly Heritage Canada is looking to support communities regardless of virtual or not virtual. And my understanding is, in looking through years past, that there's a variety of dollar amounts. Fortunately or unfortunately, the last 2 years seem to have been higher amounts than what has been in the past allocated for Canada Day. Director Adamson, I can't be 100% certain without looking it up, but I know that for Canada Day specifically, it was at least $10,000 that was budgeted for through the FERD. And then in addition to that would be this $15,000. While staff are taking a look at Canada Day planning, certainly want to ensure that the money is spent in a wise manner and in a way that could be impactful for the community. If not the whole amount is being spent, it doesn't get spent and it goes into reserves or appropriated surplus and could be used at a future time for community benefit as well. Canada, they don't ask for a specific accounting at this point in time for the money, just asking for us to use it towards communities. So that's sort of the plan that staff is approaching it.
Okay, thanks. Through the chair, can I just ask another question?
Yes, please.
Okay, so do we have leftover from last year out of that 10 grand or that, like, how much do we have in the bank kind of thing is the question?
So I'd have to go back and check the numbers specifically, Director Adamson. I'm sorry, I don't have that
Oh, yeah,
information
okay,
with
no,
me tonight.
I'll be happy to wait.
But certainly we can have a look. But if there is money that's left over at the end of the year in different areas, certainly it is put away for future use.
No,
And we
no,
can certainly
sorry, I
provide an
appreciate
update.
that. I just, like, we're gonna have a couple slow years here, right? So I just thought maybe we're building up, so when COVID gets gone, we can have the biggest party for Canada Day.
And that's the kind of the intention behind it. Like
Good.
perhaps we could have like a reopening party or a,
Yeah,
hey, it's been 2 years since COVID started. Look, we're back. Or I'm not sure what that
yeah,
looks like.
yeah, okay, no, I
But
appreciate it.
so we wouldn't want to necessarily go ahead and spend all that money unless it was deemed to be in the community's best interest, which
Of course.
when it's
Okay.
virtual, perhaps not the case, but we're just trying to finalize some plans that we can do within our parameters to make it
appreciate it.
meaningful as
Thank
we
you.
can. Yeah.
Thanks very much, Mr. Adamson. Christina, thank you. Permission from, I'm not sure who, seeing as I'm the chair right now, but is it okay if I call everybody by their first name as we move forward? Is that appropriate or inappropriate? I'm just asking the question because it seems that it's a mix of things.
Mr. Chair, I think, I don't think anybody would object to that for this meeting.
Just thought I would ask. Thanks very much. Good to see everyone with a chuckle on their face. Okay, addenda items number 6 and late items. Are there any addenda items, late items?
I'm not aware of any, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Having heard none from anyone else, we'll move to number 7, staff and standing reports. Who would like to lead that off, please?
Do we have any updates by staff? Otherwise, I think we could probably move into item 8, reports by commission members.
Thanks very much. Let's just do that. Reports by commission members. Are there any? Anyone have anything? Ms. Hines, thank you.
I attended the Healthy Communities meeting and we have one next week. And I attended Purple Lights meeting and we're working on how we're going to move forward. And Healthy Communities, it was interesting hearing some of the plans that are being made. And I spoke at the public hearing as well. And that's about it. I'm fairly quiet today, in case you haven't noticed. So,
Well understood. Thank you very much for participating all the same.
Enjoy
Yes.
it.
Well, we will note this one. Thank you. I'll have one thing to say, and not necessarily on behalf of the commission or anything like that, but those of you that know me know I live in the Sunshine Valley, and Tashme Museum has been conducting and hosting, with support from a number of organizations, a special 1-month program as they're open every Saturday and Sunday right now. So if it's something that you haven't done, they are doing so via invitation and by booking as you come in, as you enter. It's all within the Fraser Health protocol, and it's extremely well worthwhile. So if anybody has an opportunity to attend with their children, their family, their grandparents, come and visit the Tashme Museum. I think Ryan and the team have put together a spectacular presentation for everyone. Any other reports by commissioners?
Mr. Chair, I do see that Bronwyn has her hand raised if she wants to unmute.
Thank you very much.
It's not a report, it's a question. I'm wondering when the lease agreement is going to be coming up for discussion. I know it's way overdue and I keep waiting for it to turn up on the agenda.
That's a good question. I think we did have that come up a couple of meetings ago. Stacy, would you like to take that?
Thank you. I can discuss that on the closed agenda.
Thank you very much.
That would be fine. It's something I bring up every time and it just doesn't seem to be moving. So I'd like to know what's happening. So the closed agenda is fine for that.
Thank you. We'll add it to our closed session. Thank you very much. Reports by commissioners. Seeing no others. Item number 9, public question period for items relevant to the agenda. Jamie?
I can advise that we have not received any questions or email submissions, so we are free to move to the resolution to close meeting.
Thanks very much. Resolution to close meeting. Dennis, thank you very much. First, second,
I'll
please.
move. Bronwyn.
Bronwyn Punch, second. Thank you. We have now closed the meeting.